life. Mohit Joshi, Regina, Neerav Thakkar, Arun Srinath, Janvi, thank you for joining. Hi, Nandit. Am I audible to you all? Can you hear me? Just type yes. Kunal sir, can you hear me? Please type yes. Thank you, Komal. Thank you. So, yeah, it's 5 p.m., so I think we should start. So, I am very happy to start this new series to share with everyone different concepts, different realizations, different thoughts. And today, to begin with, I have no words. I'm so happy and so grateful and so honored that we will be joined with Govind Das sir. I'll just check if he is online. Um, just hold on. Just waiting for him to join.
Hi,
Hello, sir.
Rahul.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
So thank you very much for joining.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Yes, I'll just brief everyone. All those of you who are live right now, I just want to tell you that I have known him since almost my birth, and he has installed a very powerful value system in me. So whatever little good qualities are there, it's all because of the guidance of all such personalities in my life. As you saw in the post, yes, he is an international speaker. He travels across the world, counseling, mentoring, and especially students and children. He has been a scholar in Vedic education, okay, especially the Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and he has made it very practical for modern age. And I thought it's my responsibility to share with so many of my followers here on Instagram. We have been on Instagram since almost a year or 2 years now, and I thought let's do something good for everyone, and along with all, I'll also learn something. Yes, so I have been a professor of financial management only. To be more specific, we teach strategic financial management for CA students. And today's topic is therefore very appropriate. That is Vedic financial management. Yes, so we will start straight away. Sir, we have got many professors also joining us who have been teaching CA students.
Thank you, everyone.
And many CA students across the country have joined. So right now we have a count of around 90 have already joined. So as the course progresses, many will join more. So as a professor, and on behalf of many professors, they were all asking me, what is this Vedic financial management, etc. So as far as money is concerned, I think there are always two aspects to it. One is the source of money, from where we get money, and the other is the what is the application of that money. So as far as the source is concerned, I always had this doubt, because when I became a chartered accountant, I was 21 years old then, and the first thing I took up, the first profession I took up was teaching. And as soon as I took up teaching, there were many who told me that it's a very noble job, very nice thing you're doing, teaching, etc. And internally, I always felt that end of the day, we are earning money. Now, someone else might not be teaching; he might be doing some other job, and maybe ethical, maybe unethical. End of the day, everyone is earning money, running for money. So my first question would be to you, so that everyone can get enlightened. Many young students are there. It will be great for them to know right now that how important is the source of income. Is it very important that the source of income be from a noble profession? what impact it has on our mental state as well as our fortunes in life ahead. So the source of income, how important is it? That's my question for you.
Thank you, Rahul, for inviting me for this wonderful interaction with you. Since I
Thank
know
you.
Rahul from his early childhood, and he has been extremely sincere, hardworking, enterprising, and therefore he could reach to the level where he is today. And it's a very important question about the source of wealth and the purpose of wealth. They are interconnected. In the Vedic management system, the Vedic finance system, it talks about, if you study Bhagavad Gita or any of our Dharma Shastras, no work is condemned, including the work of a butcher. In the Bhagavatam and in the Mahabharata, there is a story of a butcher. He is called as Dharma Vyadha. Because in this world, there are so many professions required. So many professions. Now, he's a Vyadha, he's a butcher. There are many people who are strongly vegetarian, and there are some people who are very strongly non-vegetarian. There are some people that are vegetarian during the Shravan month. This is going on now. They're
Yes.
vegetarian on Mondays and Fridays and Saturdays, and other days they're non-vegetarians.
Yes.
So therefore, according to the needs of the people, since time and immemorial, the professions were created. From the very superficial perspective, from the very relative perspective, we can say this is better profession than this profession. Right? That is how generally we compare. So therefore, anything which is legal, because morality is a very personal thing, but the legal is a very public thing, right?
Yes.
So that is very
Yes.
important to understand. That is very important to understand. By saying that, I do not demean, there are so many actual noble profession in regards to service industry. No? And there are four things which Vedic finance says. One is the duty of a soldier, right? We are celebrating the arrival of the Rafale,
Yes.
planes, right?
Yes.
So it's everywhere, and there was a good bargain. That's what we have heard. So the
Yes.
soldier's profession is considered as very, very noble. Second, the profession of a farmer, right? They are the foundation for our other professions. And the third profession is the profession of a teacher,
Oh.
right? And the fourth profession is the profession of a worker, ordinary worker. So therefore, these four professions were always considered as noble, and therefore generally society supported them more than giving them a monthly remuneration, right? So when the society took care of them, and therefore they were able to provide everybody and everything. But today in the modern world, everything has become a profession, including the job of a teacher, soldier, farmer, and a worker. It is all about, I do this much, you give me this much.
Yes.
So therefore, based on that principle, ultimately it is decided what do you do with your wealth. The purpose of wealth makes it more sacred than the cause of the wealth.
Oh.
Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita, very interesting, very assurance, Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita gives a lot of assurance. He says, Arjuna, there is no work in this world which is not contaminated, just like there is a smoke in the fire. One may say, oh, the gas fire is pure because there is no smoke. No, but there is a smell, right? No, even if
Yes.
there is a fire, but there is a smell of that cylinder coming through the fire. So therefore, every work has some contamination.
Yes.
Therefore, what it is explained in regards to profession, as much as there is less violence, to say that absolutely no violence is not possible. Even if you are working, Even if you're working in the most clean job, you're competing with somebody else. You're already hurting. Like
Yes.
today, yesterday there was a result of 10th standard. About 220 students got 100 out of 100 in all the subjects. Right?
Oh, yes.
But others who got only 98, they must have felt little hurt. Oh, I did
Yeah.
not get it. So pain is a reality of this world. So what Mahabharata teaches, can you minimize the violence instead of maximizing the violence? Can you minimize selfishness? To say that I am selfless completely itself is very, very obsessive and narcissistic. No? Therefore, minimize
Yes.
violence and maximize non-violence. If you can do that, that profession is the best profession. And to teach this, the foundation of
Yes.
all profession is the profession of an educationalist, the
Oh,
teacher's profession. You know,
yes.
unfortunately, in India, we see now there are three professions where everybody dreams. The shameless profession of a politician. Not all politicians are shameless. We are not saying,
Yes.
but it has become like that. And second is hyper sport events, right? Like, for example, the Indian cricket coach, we are not against him. He earns about 8 crore rupees per year. Even the
Yes.
best of the scientists does not earn that.
Yes.
Even the best of the professor in IIM, IIT, and your batch does not earn that much of money. So shameless
Yes.
politicians, hyper sports people, and arrogant, movie stars and movie actresses and the producers. We are talking so much about them. Just see how much we are investing money on them. Instead,
Correct.
every
Correct.
citizen become conscious about this. And like the yesterday's or day before yesterday, the whole education policy is a
Yes.
fresh breath,
Yeah.
where they've increased the, investment on that. If more people are encouraged, people want good teacher, but nobody wants to make their children teachers. So therefore, if
Yes.
that foundation of education is given, then Chanakya Pandit explains, न शिक्षक के गोद में संहार और सृष्टि दोनों खेलती है.
Wow.
He can create and he can destroy. That is the
Wow.
principle of Vedic, profession.
Yes. Yes. Super. So Prabhuji, so sir, what happens is generally students, they whenever we talk of the profession, the first thing they ask me is, how do I decide a profession? Because end of the day we want to earn money. So if you want to earn money, there are so many fields available. So is there any parameter to on how to decide one's profession based on Vedic principles? Is there any principles given to us that okay, if you are such a person, then this profession would suit you more? Is there any such kind of principles available for deciding and choosing profession for earning money?
The first word in when you join the school, there is a word called as Swadhyaya. Now, the word Swadhyaya decides everything. What is Swadhyaya? Swadhyaya means self-study. Now, self-study doesn't mean that you take your Kindle, take your Google, and then keep studying on your own. Self-study means helping yourself discover your passion.
Yes.
When you discover your passion from early childhood, then you can put a lot of efforts in learning. In fact, there are researches conducted. No, passion, opportunity, and hard work makes you extraordinary.
Hmm.
If you study the story of Bill Gates, if you study the story of Steve Jobs, Bill
Yes.
Gates compared to anybody else got to deal with computer in 1968 as a young
Oh,
boy, 14-year-old, 13-year-old boy. And
yes.
compared to everybody else in America also, he was 7, 8 years ahead of experience.
Yes.
It is not simply hard work, it was opportunity also. Therefore, what they say, passion and opportunity has to be reconciled.
Hmm.
Up-
Okay.
it is a swadharma and opportunity. When they are reconciled, then there is a greater growth. And once you
Yes.
stabilize, then you can focus more on your passion. Otherwise, if you focus on passion where there are no opportunities, then it becomes problem of roti kapda makan also. No, you have a very idealistic
Yes.
idea, but there are
Yes.
no paisa in your hand. So therefore, Vedic principle
Yes.
teaches the Pandavas. Pandavas were
Yes.
extremely powerful Kshatriyas, but Arjuna saw opportunity being a dancer.
Yes.
No, he became a
Yes.
dancer. Bhima became a cook. Yudhishthir became an
Yes.
ordinary advisor because that was the only opportunity for them to survive. And once they did something in that, when the opportunity became prominent, along with their passion, it is a great good luck to have opportunity and passion together. But generally, generally what happens, you have a passion but no opportunity, you have opportunity but no passion.
Yes.
So take the priority one, which is one, the opportunity one, and
Wow.
slowly give chance to your passion also, then you grow nicely.
Okay. So basically, if we are in a situation where there are opportunities, but we don't want them, or we are bored, or maybe we are not
Mhm.
so excited about it, but it's an opportunity for us to stabilize. Then even though it is not our passion, it's a very good learning for all students here that we should go for it in the current moment first and grab the opportunity, even though it might not be our passion right now. It's more practical. And then as and when opportunities come where you can use your passion, then we start going towards it. Is that the whole summary of it?
Very important because opportunity don't come many times. But you
Yes.
can develop passion even at the age of 70. There are people who study music at the age of 70. There
Correct.
are people who learn Bharatnatyam age of the age of 65. There are people who learn martial art at the age of 70 also. Right. So because
Yes.
they're stable and steady, it is unfortunate reality of this world that in the Vedic system, your opportunity and passion were integrated.
Oh,
No,
yes.
so it was not a nepotism. It was a general legacy. No, it was a
Yes.
general legacy. The doctor's son had a greater opportunity to become a doctor.
Yes.
For others, it was not bad. It was not bad, but they had
Hmm.
to put extra efforts.
Yes.
Now, today, for everybody, whether you are a son of a doctor, you are not a doctor. If you are a son of an engineer or not a son of an engineer, yes, there is an opportunity. But ultimately, people look for opportunity for roti, kapda, makan, basic
Yes.
stability. And after
Yes.
you do that, of course, if you just keep doing what you look for opportunity and do not develop your passion, even after having a great finances, your life will be bored. You'll feel I did not do something very satisfying. Therefore, it has to be
Correct. Correct.
reconciled properly, maturely.
Yes. Yes. Also, all those who are watching right now, if you have any questions that come to your mind as this discussion progresses ahead, you can please put on the chat box. I will read out any if we have time at the end. Yes. So thank you very much, sir, for giving us the guidance on profession and source of income and how important it is to first of all stabilize yourself first, and then maybe go ahead and explore your passions at an opportune time. Now, as far as the source is concerned, my doubts are cleared. Now comes the next part, that is the application of money. Now, as far as application is concerned, see, as a chartered accountant, many people do come and say, or they ask that you're a professor in CA, you're a professor in financial management. Help us understand where to invest our money. Now, as far as investments are concerned, there are so many instruments available in the country today. Now, as far as the people who are right now watching this telecast are concerned, I know there are some students who might be earning around 1,000, 1,500 rupees per month in their articleship. And there might be some professionals who might be earning 10 lakhs per month. End of the day, everyone has that question. And I have understood, more importantly, the question generally is, first is whether to invest or not. So the question is, should I enjoy my life right now and worry about investment later? Because there are so many desires that people have, and especially when money starts flowing in, then suddenly the capacity to satisfy your desires increase, and then straight away you start spending money like anything. And we feel, yes, when the income will increase later, we will look for investments. The other part is, the other side of the story is, um give up all our desires and start investing only. Yeah, start investing. Maybe in the future, in the old age, when things settle, we will have a lot of money, and we will then be able to enjoy. So, or old age, or maybe in 10 years, 15 years, whatever. So the question is, and it's all a debate between two questions: spend now, enjoy now, and save for later. Uh, Enjoy now and then start saving later. Or the second question is, start saving now only, and you might not be able to enjoy your life the way you want to. So, are there any
It's a very
principles in our?
important and
Yeah.
it's a very important and very pertinent question. And you guys are all from the number field, you know,
Yes.
you all count, from a
Yes.
very abstract perspective, so many different perspective. And if you study, there is a fact and there is a narrative.
Yes.
Generally, what happens? Narratives take over the fact.
Yes.
There is a mathematics and there is a explanation. And explanation is very articulate and mathematics is very boring, right?
Yes. Yes.
No? So
Yes.
if you study carefully, this was I was attending one seminar in IIT Mumbai. It was connected to integral wealth.
Okay.
There is a concept of integral wealth. The word artha, you must have heard this word, artha
Yes.
shastra, or what is called as economics, right?
Yes.
The word artha shastra is not only connected to finance.
Yes.
Artha shastra means there is a finance in regards to money, in regards to relationship, in regards to health, in regards to fulfillment of contributing in others' life, your family member. So therefore, if you study America, the most advanced country, the country's loan and the people's loan is very high. And as against that, India's loan is very high, but people's loan is very less.
Okay.
Huh? An Indian, even a poor person, if he's making 100 rupees, he saves about 26 rupees. The Americans teach how to make money, but they do not teach how to save money.
Yes.
If people
Yes.
earn 100 rupees, they will spend 120 rupees.
Yes.
But this is a very new thing. Originally, the capitalistic market said, earn now, enjoy later.
Yes.
Then the consumer market said, enjoy now, earn later.
Correct.
And then consumer market led to the family market, which is, I relate to you as my mother, father, husband, and wife if you're financially viable to me. If you're not, I will separate from you. And therefore there
Hmm.
is so much of broken relationship. So what does the Vedic finance says? Vedic finance says that earning and enjoying, they're again integrated from now till afterwards. Like those who know the whole concept of Garba dance and
Hmm.
Dandiya, how do you begin? You begin very slowly.
Yes.
It's a slow beginning. Or if you're playing a one day match also 50 overs, it is seldom that from the very first over, unless you have some Sehwag and Srikanth and other players, you go rhythmically, steadily. Then you
Yes.
start increasing the speed. So therefore the important principle is that unless there is a pleasure, there is no motivation to earn.
Yes.
Unless there
Yes.
is the earning, there is no way to enjoy.
Yes.
They're interconnected. In the early days of your life, you be strategic in enjoying.
Yes.
So that as you grow, if the resources are increasing, then the rhythm and the speed of enjoyment also increases.
Hmm.
The whole concept of Vedic mathematics is a circular logic. It's not a linear logic. I
Hmm.
enjoy and I die.
Hmm.
So therefore, if there is no strategy, it is explained. How does it work? It works, you earn. you invest, and part of the earning you also invest in your self satisfaction. In fact, there is
Oh.
a important principle is said: one who lives tight fist,
Hmm.
he doesn't have a juice in his life. A stingy person is the greatest charitable person because he gives money to everybody else.
Yes.
Huh? So
Yes.
therefore, it has to be harmonized between now and tomorrow.
Yes.
And because our Indian families now also, because they focused on saving for their children's education, and therefore most of you all there, because your parents invested on your education, they gave the opportunity where you didn't have to struggle to raise your money. You have to
Correct.
only struggle to basically study properly.
Correct.
In the rich Western world, the students start taking loan from the very beginning only. When he actually comes out of the college, he has loan of $300,000, $200,000, then he takes a house loan. So they're basically building their loan so much. Therefore, Yudhishthira Maharaj in the Mahabharata he says, very interesting, he says, one of the interesting principle, if you want to be happy, minimize your loan.
Hmm.
Because you work 8 to 12 hours, but loan works 24 hours.
Wow.
Therefore,
Yes.
integrate the principle of enjoyment and saving for now
Yes.
and the future, and let the rhythm
Yes.
and the speed of your happiness increase.
Yes. Wow, it was a very, very, very nice point. The loan thing, that we work for 8 to 10 hours only, but the loan works 24 hours. Very nice point from Mahabharat. Very, very good. I'm getting some messages also. One of the question being asked now uh, on my WhatsApp here, they are asking me to ask you that how what is the principle of taking risk as far as investments are concerned? uh, when we get money, see, as we know, we can put it in a very safe investment like FD. Okay, fixed deposit, very simple, very very safe. Or we can straight away burn our hands, or just take that leap and go to the equity share market. End of the day, it's always a debate between playing safe and playing risky. Now risky, of course, promises huge returns, but then it also comes with a coupon of huge losses. So how what is the principle to be followed? As now many of the people who have joined now will become chartered accountants anytime now, maybe this year, next year, or in 2 years max. And as soon as they become chartered accountants, straight away they must be right now earning somewhere from 2,000 to 3,000. Straight away they will jump to 50,000, 60,000 per month. And suddenly when they see that jump in the money, uh, they might not spend it lavishly, but they will start getting encouraged and excited to put it in risky investments. So as a young professional, um, even we all also are almost young now. So what should be the principle for investment? Should we go for risky ones? What principles are there that we can apply as far as
Therefore, again, one of the very interesting principle, Vyasadeva, one of the compiler of the Mahabharata, says that how much capacity you have to handle the risk.
yes,
Hmm? The Jatayu, he told Ravan, he said one should lift the load as much as his back carries. One should eat the food as much as he or she can digest.
yes,
So, what is the power of your risk taking capacity? There are
yes,
some people, there are some community, they always play safe. They say, I don't want to take any risk. I remember talking to one very interesting engineer, worked very systematically for 35 years. I asked him, oh, do you have money in share market? He said, I don't even know the spelling share market. Huh?
oh,
Jokingly was saying. He said, I have no money there. I just focused on whatever I was earning and I was saving. So
yes,
therefore, if you study carefully, the whole principle of life is a combination of risk and safety.
yes,
No, if you only talk about safety, there is a saying, the ships are safe, but they are not meant to be there. They are supposed to be sailing.
yes,
Right? They're supposed to be sailing. So if you want to make money, how much capacity you have to handle the risk. I remember talking to one
Yes.
rappler, mountaineer. He said he
Oh,
has taken about 28,000 students in the mountaineering and
oh,
rappelling. No, he said
okay.
not even one accident, not even one accident. Now, what is that? It is a adventurous, it's risky. But he said the principle of mountain climbing is, you know, you dare with care.
Yes,
You dare
yes,
with care. Therefore, Narad Muni, he told this to Yudhishthira Maharaj in the Mahabharata. Very interesting principle. He said there is a Mooladhan. Mooladhan is what? Capital. Okay.
yes,
Capital could be land, your property, and your fixed deposit in the bank for now and for the future.
yes,
He says your Mooladhan should be made safe. And from there, you
yes.
can invest your money because maintained money does not grow. Maintenance means going down. Maintenance
Oh,
means always growing. So, therefore, he gives four things: earning money,
yes.
growing money, enjoying the money, and sharing the money.
Oh,
There are four things. Once
okay.
again, earn
Earn.
and then earn, maintain. Maintain means you have to grow it.
Yes,
If you don't grow, it will go down.
yes,
And then and enjoy your wealth,
yes,
properly in a dharmic way. And the fourth is help those who are underprivileged. So when you
yes,
create this circle, it creates an energy. It creates a beautiful energy. Therefore, those who only worry about enjoying now, they become extremely small-minded and selfish. And life is
yes,
not about alone. Life is a part of a community.
yes,
So therefore, this proposition of enjoy now is wrong. Enjoy later, just work hard now is also boring. It has to be
yes,
harmonized between enjoy less and save more. And in this way,
yes,
you add more people to your enjoyment. Not only
yes,
yourself, your family, your community, your state, your country, your universe. And therefore,
yes,
Chanakya, very interesting. Chanakya says, for a leader, earning money is not a vessel. It is not an addiction. It is a contribution.
Hmm.
As much as the good
Wow.
people make money, that is good for the society.
Yes, superb.
Sometime in
Yes,
India, it is said good people are told to be self-satisfied. But Mahabharata says good people should be ambitious for not oneself, but for the larger good of the society. That is the
wow.
important
Yes,
principle. Therefore, there is a concept of Rajarshi. What is the Rajarshi means? Internally satisfied, but externally ambitious.
yes.
And
Wow.
externally ambitious. If that combination is there, internally satisfied, but externally ambitious, not for yourself alone, but to the larger good of the society.
Yes.
That is called as dharmic capitalism. That is called as conscious capitalism.
Wow. So there were good 4 points. One is earning, one is growing the money, and Narad Muni also mentions about enjoying the money, and
Yes.
also sharing. So
Yeah.
all four are important.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All the four are important because life
Yes.
is full of juice.
Yes. Yes. So when we talk of sharing money, uh, which in very broad sense nowadays is called as charity. Yeah, charity work. So, is there a reconciling between charity and investment both? Which means, is charity also a part of our investment, or is charity to be taken to be a completely separate aspect other than our investments? Because sometimes I've heard people say charity is the biggest investment. What are your thoughts on this principle?
Again, therefore, again, unless you have not grown yourself, it is said if you ask a naked man to give cloth, he will not be
Yes,
able to give. Recently,
yes,
one of our students, you know her very well, she grew up with only. She wrote a poem. He said, compassionate, poverty-stricken, and a wealthy, mean person. That means the same in regards to the society. A
Wow.
wealthy, mean person does not contribute, and a compassionate, poverty-stricken cannot contribute. He feels for people, but he cannot do anything good.
Correct. Correct.
So therefore, in the Mahabharata again, Yudhishthir Maharaj, he is the epitome of investment in people. As a
Oh.
king, he had a policy for free education to his citizens,
Hmm.
providing them free food, providing them free education, providing them shelter.
Hmm.
So when you do that, what does it do? Your compassion gives rise to loyal citizens.
Hmm.
For example, when IIT, many of the government engineering and medical college started. Take for example IIT. I was talking to one of my friend. He completed his IIT in 94, 95. I asked him, how much money did you spend to become an IITian? He
Hmm.
said, every year I spend 2,000 rupees.
Hmm.
No, total, including staying in the hostel, he did not spend more than 1 lakh rupees for 4 years.
Hmm.
So IIT invested on a potential good people who could grow,
Hmm.
and these very people now bring crores of rupees of charity to IIT.
Hmm.
Therefore, there is a strategy in charity. Therefore, Gita
Yes.
says charity should be given to potential people. If you
Yes.
give charity to pampered people, you create more beggars. I remember
Wow.
when there was a food security bill was brought out by the previous government, one economist wrote an article. What was the article? Is it pro poor or is it pro poverty?
Wow.
Is it pro poor or pro poverty? Because if a hard-working farmer is given a charity of free rice, free sugar, where is the impetus to feel entrepreneur?
Correct. Correct.
So such a charity makes people lazy.
Yes.
Therefore, the concept of charity in the Vedic management is certainly those who are purely invalid, blind, deaf, they are old people. For them, you don't expect anything other than pure, sensitive compassion.
Yes.
But everybody else, other than that, our charity should be an investment. So
Yes.
that they grow and you also grow. Therefore, some of these multinational companies, big companies, they invest in education. What
Yes.
happens when they invest in education? They get good people who work for that same company. The company also grows. So there is a selfishness, but also there is a sensitivity in regards to compassion.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Of course, sometimes people say, "Arey, charity should be given in such a way that to whom you are giving, you should not know about them, and those who are receiving, they should also not know about you." That is one aspect. But Gita says, Gita is a very practical management book. It says, know whom are you giving charity? What is their
Yes.
capacity to handle that? Does it
Yes.
make them lazy or does it make them grow?
Wow. Yes. So, so as far as charity is concerned, the one point, very striking point that comes through is we should give charity to those who are potential people rather than those who are pampered. Um, yes, so we understood now whom to give charity to, uh, but is charity to be practiced as a discipline in our lives? Maybe we are earning very less or very much. Is charity to be practiced as a personal discipline that whatever comes, we will be giving some part of our money in charity to the world outside? And if yes, then are there any principles on where to give charity to? First of all, is it to be
Simple,
practiced? Yeah.
it is simple principle. The laws of nature. If you see this universe, the whole universe functions on the principle of giving and taking. Dadati pratigrahati.
Hmm.
You breathe out, right? You breathe out, you breathe in. You are taking something from the universe. When your mother, my mother, she gave unconditional love. There was no condition applied. It was middle of the night, 1 o'clock. We were hungry, right? Then she got up. She didn't curse. She might be irritated a little bit, but there was no cursing of her child. So we have experience for our selfishness. Somebody had to become selfless,
Correct.
and therefore we are able to grow. So the concept of cooperation, in fact, there is a saying, selfish, independent life is arrogant. Slavery dependent life is unfortunate reality.
Yes.
Interdependence is a beautiful legacy and culture.
Wow.
Independent life is
Superb.
arrogant. Dependent
Arrogance.
life is a slavery, dependent life. And interdependent life is a culture and a legacy. And
Superb.
therefore, if I don't start today, if you remember in our childhood, because generally in our time we grew up with large number of people, family, friends, brothers, sisters. The mothers would say, if you don't share what you have, तो आपके पेट में दर्द होगा, right?
Yes. Yes.
People have grown up.
Yes.
Oh, पेट में दर्द होगा. You should share with others. So
Yes.
therefore, the concept when you would go to school, it was very clear we would share the tiffin from our tiffin box.
Yes.
Of course, there are shameless students always everywhere. They would not bring their tiffin and take from everybody else. Such shameless people are also there, but their shamelessness should not make us to follow their example.
Correct.
So therefore, what the scripture say, give charity from very beginning in a very judicious way. Do not give all your tiffin and remain hungry. If you study the
Correct.
story
Correct.
of the great kings of India, some were extremely, extremely idealistic in their behavior. They said, I
Yes.
don't care starving, I don't care spoiling my family. But such family people, they spoil the future generation because the future generation felt, my father, my grandfather gave away everything and I have nothing, so I'll become
Correct.
selfish. Therefore, again the same principle, earn
Super.
and share from very beginning. You can give 1 paise, you can give 2 paise.
Yes.
If you remember, like when somebody said, an economist again, he said, why they had this box, clay pot, right? People used to put the coins, 25 paisa, 50
Yes.
paisa, 1 rupees, and they would go and give it to somebody else.
Yes.
So these boxes were making, I have a future, I have a relationship, I have a society. And the credit card says, this is my life today and not tomorrow. Therefore, they have 99 credit cards, but no money in their bank account.
Correct. Yes. So wonderful, wonderful explanations. Thank you very much. All there are many people who are actually sending so many messages saying they're loving it. Uh, it's almost 5:43 now. So another 10 minutes, we can 10-15 minutes, we'll continue and I'll take some questions now. There are many questions that people are writing. There is one, Disha Verma. She has written a question. What are the different kinds of charity except monetary one? Please explain. And again, repeat, what are the different kinds of charity except monetary one? Please explain.
In fact, the Bhagavatam and Mahabharata said there are 4 kinds of charity: Pranir, Arthair, Dhiya, and Vacha. Pranir means what? Pranir means one can give charity one's own life. That is called as the Purusha Meda Yagya. In the scripture, it is called as Purusha Meda Yagya. The great kings like Lord Ramachandra, right? He sacrificed his own life, including his family, for the sake of the subjects, living an extremely poverty-stricken life. He was not poor, he lived a simple life. If you read
Yes.
in the scriptures, if you read, even 30, 40 years ago, now also there are rare breed now. The teachers, they had no timings. So they would give their knowledge through giving their time. That is called as apne full time to give that. That is
Yes.
pranayam. If you cannot do that, it is said arthair. Arthair
Correct.
means meaningful contribution, and one part is the finance. I remember meeting one lady in one of the town in Madhya Pradesh. They had no children,
Okay.
and she told, you know what? Just because I don't have a children, yes, it is a painful reality, but I cannot stay in pain. What she did was she basically brought 10 children from the tribal areas of India, Vanvasis, and she kept them in another house and she took care of them, giving them meal, giving them place to stay, and whatever little finance she had, along with the getting the scholarship from the government, right? So the I remember another one of my friend was saying his grandfather after retirement he would go outside the bank and he would help the poor people to fill up the forms, how to fill up the form. He will talk to them, you can do like this. There are
Yes.
people during the when I was growing up during the summer vacation, the rich people they would get these old people and ask them to spend 2 hours giving waters to poor people, thirsty people. I always saw this during the summer season. Cold water provided through the clay pot. So therefore, charity. I remember one American, professor. He was studying in India. He saw one elderly poor person in Bengal. What was he doing? He was actually every day he would throw some rice flour, wheat flour in the field. And after a few days, they said, "What are you doing? Why are you wasting this rice flour, wheat flour?" He said, "Sir, I'm not wasting." He said, "The purpose of life is to also contribute. I have nothing to contribute. A little atta, I throw it so at least the ants can receive, so some charity can happen from me." So therefore, so artha is not only money. If you have large money, give for education. If you don't have money, praner arther dhiya. Dhiya means you may have buddhi, intelligence. Right? There are many consultant. Nowadays, consultants are the people who make biggest money. But previously, the consultants were called as Purohit. See, there is some Purohit here, Purohit Dhawan. The word
Yeah.
Purohit means the Purohit means those who are the people who would make a hita, good to the society, living with less but giving intelligence to others. And the fourth charity, it is called as charity of good appreciation. Praner arther dhiya vacha. Uh, at least speak encouraging words to people. If they are in depression in the COVID time, I remember one of my friend, he is working in the Maharashtra area, calling people regularly and trying to boost their confidence, giving them good words. Ki don't lose hope. This is not the end of life. Yes, there is the uncertainty. And one statement, what we regularly use, misery is circumstantial, but happiness is constitutional.
Wow. Yes. Hmm.
Misery is time bound, but happiness is boundless.
Super. So it's a very it gives a lot of relief to everyone when we hear that misery is time bound and happiness is
Yes.
boundless. Very nice principle. Thank you. One there is one student Aryan. He has been asking since long. I'll just read his question. He says पैसा भगवान से कम नहीं है. Sir, elaboration on this point. Which means in English, he's saying, is money is not less or lower than Lord or God Himself. Please elaborate on this point.
Therefore, it is only in the Indian system the concept of Lakshmi and Narayana are together.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
There,
Yes.
what is Lakshmi? Lakshmi is synonymous to prosperity.
Yes.
She is considered, therefore, if you go to any Marwadi, Gujarati, any shop, any business people, they write the concept Shubha Labha. Right? You must have read it, Shubha Labha. So
Yes.
therefore, when we separate Lakshmi from Narayan, You know, when
Yes.
Lakshmi is separated from Dharma, then that very Lakshmi has the power to burn Lanka.
Wow.
Ravan wanted Lakshmi without Ram, and he had
Yes.
it for some time, but it was destroyed. And some people idealistically say, I only want Narayan, but I don't want Lakshmi. That is also not correct. That is like the principle of Shurpanaka. You know, Shurpanaka wanted
Oh,
Narayan, but not Lakshmi, and therefore she lost her, nose, her ears. And
yes.
again, Krishna's friend Sudama, he was proud of his poverty. He was proud of his austerity. He said, "No, I don't want to ask anything from anybody. I'm happy being like this." But he had a very great, intelligent wife.
Yes.
So she told, not for yourself, go for your family. So then eventually comes to Krishna. And what does Krishna do? Krishna considered Sudama's poverty stricken life as a last snare of ego. Unfortunately, in India, I don't know when it happened. Our philosophy is not like that. Our philosophy is the harmony between dharma. Dharma means, universal balance, universal governance. Artha, artha is wealth. Third is kama, enjoyment. And fourth is moksha, that is a liberation. So it is
Yes.
explained that dharma and moksha are our border, the China and Pakistan border, right?
Yes.
They are the borders. And the kama and artha should be within the borders of dharma and moksha. Then such artha, the wealth and enjoyment, they create coherency of life. Otherwise, if they are beyond dharma and moksha, then it creates a narcissistic idea like Duryodhan and Dushyasan. Right.
Yes.
So therefore, it is very important that भगवान के साथ में ही है लक्ष्मी.
Yes.
She's equal to Lord Narayan. So if there is a harmony between the two, then growth will happen. Therefore, if you study till 17th century, I'll give some historical reality of wealth. Till 17th century, one of the great, when Japan became the most prominent country in regards to financial growth, they were shocked to see that how a Asian country has become so powerful. They
Yes.
studied the history of economics. And these two economists, Paul Baroque and Angus Madison, they said India and China for 1400 years, their GDP was more than 26 to 29%.
Exactly.
Sometimes people say Western people come to India for spiritual growth, not for material growth. That is a wrong understanding. The Britishers, the French, they did not come looking for the sadhus in the Himalayas. They came looking for the wealth because
Yes.
Indians knew the art of money management. Money should not be abnegated, money should not be obsessed, but money should be managed.
Yes.
Management ho, then it creates a legacy of wealth for many, many years. Therefore,
Yes.
yes, certainly we believe we always worship Lakshmi and Narayan together. Only Lakshmi, you are Ravan. Only Ram, you are Shurpanaka. But
Surpanaka.
if you become a follower of Hanumanji, Hanumanji is the one who brings Lakshmi and Narayan together. And
Wow.
therefore, he is the epitome of that harmony and that combination.
Yes. So, amazing, amazing answers for this particular question. And even the previous question, as far as charity types of charity is concerned, I'll just summarize for everyone. The first type of charity that we can give is of the self, our own life. The second type of charity is money or artha. The third type of charity maybe is with your brain, consultation. And the fourth is if you can't do anything, then at least appreciate with your good words. So very, very, very nice principles. So I think there are many more questions which are coming up, but I'm running short of time. So I think we will end our session here. And I think, look, judging by the questions that are coming, I think we should have one more session with you, Prabhuji, sir, on this particular topic and many more topics that I'm very aware that you can shed so much light for all these viewers here.
My pleasure.
So I'm very, very, very grateful and thankful. A large number of audience has remained constant from the start till the end, and I'm getting constant requests that please save this video and share it everywhere. So I'm going to do that. Thank you very much, sir. And
My pleasure, Rahul.
if you want
And
to just
also,
give,
I also congratulate that you're entering into a new phase of your life. Rahul got married during the COVID. That is also another wealth. That is also
yeah,
another wealth. Like our
thank,
teacher Srila Prabhupada said, alone you are one, but with your wife you become 11. And we hope
wow,
and we
yes,
we pray to the Supreme Lord that both of you together contribute in each other's life, grow yourself, give pleasure to your family and to the society in general. Thank you very much.
thank you so much.